There you go. We went ahead and started recording. My name is Dixie Elizabeth Patrick, and I am the Executive Director of the Austin Independent Business Alliance. And this is our quick little local business coffee chat. We usually have a few more people than this, so this is going to be a small one, but that's okay. We always record what we chat about here and post it on our YouTube channel, and then I take the notes and have a live Google Doc that I send out so that anything we talk about, if it's a link or a date or something like that, just know that I'll put it in the notes and send it out to you as soon as the meeting is over. Also, that's available so you can share it with anyone that you think would benefit from the information that we're talking about. So what we've been doing for these coffee chats is for the month of June, we're getting together on Tuesdays and just talking about what is happening in the local economy in Austin, what's happening at the city, what's happening with funding, what's happening with everything, the new orders that are coming out and how those can be met. So very informal. I don't create a presentation that I do or anything like that. It's just like this so that we can keep everybody abreast. When we have a little bit larger group, it's always great to have a discussion. We had some really good stuff with coming up with ideas for how to do cross promotion, when things were starting to open back up again, and ideas for signage for social distancing signage. I do have two things I wanted to share with that. And so yeah, so that's where we are. So thank you for coming, this small group, and I'll go quickly through the couple of things that I wanted to cover. And it's possible that we'll end a little early today. So the big thing that's happening is, and I'm sure everyone has seen this, is that we have pulled back on our opening as a state. So Abbott released some stuff on Friday, and then the city preceded that with a mask ordinance for businesses. So just a quick note about what's going on there. We know that in the state of Texas, we can't require an individual, we can't penalize an individual for not wearing a face covering. For whatever reason, and we won't delve into that, just know that we can't do that. And so the cities, the larger cities of Texas, as a way to kind of try to find an enforcement method that would maybe work, the enforcement is on the business owner. So if you are a business owner and you have people coming into your establishment, you're asked to make everyone wear a face covering of some kind. And there is a penalty there if you are found in violation of that. Of course, no one at the city wants to penalize business owners. And so hopefully what that is doing is it's giving business owners, instead of it being a burden on them, it's giving them kind of this background of enforcement. So instead of me as a business owner having to say, I want you to wear a mask, I don't feel safe if you're not wearing a mask, I can say it's the city ordinance, like you have to, I'm not going to get fined, whatever. So it gives me some, like more of a leg to stand on, I'll say, in terms of the mask ordinance. So that is a requirement. If you have a place where people are coming in, your employees, yourself, your customers, your vendors, everybody that's coming into your place should be wearing a face covering. If you want it, Michael, are you doing branded face coverings yet? Is that already happening?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
So like any kind, like bandana, garter, cotton mask, full color mask,
Okay.
just all the different, the medical mask, everything.
Okay. So yeah, Michael can brand anything for you, including a mask. So that's just something to think about for that. So that is still a requirement. And then shortly after that, we heard from the state government pulling back our opening to closing bars, just completely. So a bar is anything that gets more than 50% of its sales receipts from the alcohol. And so they're still able to sell to-go drinks as long as they also sell food, I believe is how that is arranged, but definitely reduced, and then also pulled their restaurant capacity back to 50%, which, as we all know, is a huge ask for a restaurant to operate at 50% capacity. The profit margins on food service are not big enough that you can make any money at 50% capacity. unless you're really special. I know some people do have it figured out, but really, really challenging. So that was disappointing news. Both the underlying cause of that new announcement and that new announcement itself is definitely disappointing news. So I wanted to just kind of put that on the table. We can talk about it if we need to. I don't see, we have a restaurant retail contingent that sometimes join us. I don't see them here. So probably because they're out trying to figure out, new ways to get around this. So, but just note that it is a whole new hardship. We thought we were opening up and these were the first steps, and we were doing some really good, especially in Austin, doing some really good things, really good safe things, allowing businesses to expand into the parking lot so that people can be outside instead of inside, and so that we can maintain these social distances, opening slowly at these lower percentages. And it looks like some of that did still not work. And so we saw our numbers go up in such a way that the state government responded that way. So definitely a setback happening. Yeah, definitely a setback. So what we hope from looking through the models that are being presented is that we can get back to the downward curve. We can get back to going down instead of going up through some of the new orders that are out, and that we can really get the whole thing under control so that we can start to reopen again. So I want to put out there to any local business owner who's listening, whether you're a member of AIBA or not, if you need help brainstorming what to do in the face of these new orders, if you need help brainstorming funding, whether be it emergency funding or traditional funding through a bank, introductions to local banks, ideas about changing your business entirely, deciding you no longer want to be a restaurant in this environment. Excuse me, you want to be something totally different. To reach out to us, we're here for you. We definitely don't have all the answers to everything that's happening right now, and we don't have a panacea at all, but we're here to help in whatever way that we can. And we do have a ton of resources. AIBA has been here and supporting the local economy, the local movement here in Austin for more than 15 years. So we definitely have connections both with the city and with private industry that can help people really get a leg up. So speaking of the city, let's talk about real quick the new CARES Act funding that came out. We had Travis County got a bucket of it, and then the city of Austin got a bucket of it. Travis County is a little bit ahead of us. In the city of Austin, they have a grant program that is out right now. It's called the Thrive Program. It's being administered by BCL, Business and Community Lenders of Texas. Is a great organization that can help you with all kinds of stuff in addition to this grant funding program. So they're offering grants. So $40,000, your business needs to be in Travis County, but outside the city limits of Austin. We do have AIBA supports members in the Austin and the surrounding areas. So we do have a handful of members that do exist that are, their business addresses are out in Travis County. So if you are that person and you haven't applied yet, get in touch with me. I can give you the information. I'll go ahead and link it again in the notes that I send out. And that deadline originally was this week. They have extended it until the 10th. So that tells me that they still are opened to applications. So either they are not getting a ton of people to apply for it, or they're not having a ton of people get all the way through the process to be being found as eligible. So that information is out here. Let's see, I'm just going to pull it up real quick. And one good thing about this program, so the City of Austin program was originally called the CLEAR program. The name has changed, and I don't have the new name. I don't think it's been announced publicly yet, but it won't be called the CLEAR program. It's going to be called something else. And it is a similar grant program using the same CARES Act funding. The eligibility requirements, of course, will be different because it is with the city. But what we can do is we can look at this Thrive program that was organized by Travis County, by BCL and Travis County, and say that the City of Austin program is probably going to look similar to this. They're probably not going to be reinventing the wheel. So this is a great thing to go look at if you are within the City of Austin and you're planning to apply for the grant program as soon as it goes live. Hopefully, fingers crossed, in the next week. take a look at this and see how it's done, see what business documents they asked you to gather. You can go ahead and be pulling that together. Look at some of the eligibility requirements. Like I said, the city of Austin is going to be a little different, but it's a good gauge for you to go with there. So there is that. We are working with the department in the city who is putting together the grant program to, talk about how to make it best work. It's a huge, huge thing that's being put together, and we're super excited about it. We have been asking for grant funding for small business since, like I said, March 20th or something like that. So it's a long time coming. I do think it's going to be a fantastic program. I'm excited to share it with you as soon as the details are worked out. And I have them. We'll definitely have, as soon as that's out, we'll have a coffee chat about that and all kinds of other information that will come out about that. So, sorry, I'm just glancing at my notes. So I'm hoping, against hope, that we have that by next week when we're talking. I wanted to talk about, and I may just hold this until next time. One thing that I wanted to talk about was we have a couple of places who are doing signage that is kind of a whole bucket of things. So as you're opening, as you're reopening and you're asking people to stay 6 feet apart, or you're needing signage to show that you have a policy for the mask requirement that you had. So the mask requirement, part of that mask requirement is that each business say that they have a policy for how to deal with masks. There's a sample policy that you can use that was included in the order that I will include in the notes. And then we also have another local company called Miller IDS that produced a graphic signage package that I'm going to share with you here. I think that they can do it piecemeal or they can do it all together. And it's about maintaining 6 feet of distance. It's about what does the sign on the front door need to say so that I am in compliance with all of the city orders. So it's some of the work for especially an overburdened small business owner has been taken out of that, and you can just get this sign there. So I wish I had pulled that up before we got ready, but I'll definitely include that in the notes. And then I wanted to just open it to see if there were any questions. And I know we have a really small group today, but Seed, I know I'm not sure if you can hear me still. I wonder if you have heard anything. Seed is our AIBA's districts director, which is our geographically based program of 9 local business hotspots around town. Have you heard anything from the AIBA's districts that would be helpful for people to talk about here or know about? Can you still hear me?
You, but I'm muted.
Oh, there you are.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you. No, I haven't heard anything helpful, unfortunately.
Okay. So our IBIS districts do have a lot of, depending on which district we're in, it is kind of retail, restaurant, bar focused in large part. There are, of course, some other industries that exist there, but I'm sure that's things are very tough in the IBIS districts right now. And Lila, I wanted to reach out to you too, and you don't have to talk if you can chat or whatever. But are there any questions that you had, anything that you needed answered, anything that you've heard that you think would be helpful?
Nothing that I've heard of. We are new though. Unfortunately, we are under construction, trying to open in September. I mean, as you know, we can't just back out,
right?
Because COVID hit. So we are under construction right now, and we are scheduled to open in September. A coffee shop, a few 2 blocks away from the Texas Capitol, where most of before COVID, it's saturated with workers, but it's pretty quiet over there right now.
What a challenge, Lila. I'm so glad you could join us. That is huge.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm yeah. So we'll see how this reopening going on, and yeah. So I mean, the good thing is that we'll have outside patio, so hopefully that helps.
Good.
And I
And
think
yeah, and everybody needs coffee, like, right?
yeah, but people are not there though, so I don't know how
Yeah.
far people want to travel for coffee. So I don't
Right.
know if I'm trying to feel the pulse of the city,
Mhm.
um, of how if people are sick of staying at home and working, and if they want to work outside. We do have a courtyard and a patio, so there are some space for outside. So I don't
Good.
know if people want to work outside in this heat.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I hear you. What a challenging time to be opening.
Yes.
Yeah. I,
Any tips or anything like that, would definitely appreciate it.
okay. Okay. So yeah, I will email you some other people that we can get you connected with too that are downtown that are, all that in a similar spot, right? Like usually having this tons of foot traffic between tourism and people at the Capitol and all of the workers that are coming there. That's really been tamped down. So know that you're not alone. I know that doesn't necessarily help you. It doesn't pay the rent for sure. But thanks for joining us, and I hope that we can provide some support for you as we kind of move through this. I appreciate you sharing that too. So this is kind of a shorter meeting. We'll go ahead and end it right now, and know that I am toying with the idea of continuing these little updates through July. I think we'll go ahead and do it, even though this particular one has really been a little bit on the smaller side. Go ahead and continue them through July. It's just such a great way to be able to have a quick conversation with people. Especially as we move into the later part of the summer into July, when we talk about whether school is going to open or not. I don't know how closely you guys have been following that. I don't have school-age children, but even if you don't have school-age children, the school system is who watches the, I mean, 90% of the children in America are in school, right? So if they choose not to open, what effect does that have on the economy as a whole, the local economy? What is everybody who usually goes to work every day, the people who work for you, your employees, what are they going to do with their children, and how we're going to navigate that as business owners if it does come to that. So we'll stay abreast of that. And then the city grant program, again, should be live just absolutely any day. And as soon as it is, you're going to hear it from us. Lila, if you haven't already, make sure you sign up for our newsletter list. I won't make you do it. I'll go ahead and put you on there when we hang up, so that
Thank you.
stay on board with us, and then follow us also on Facebook to get some good information that way. Some of our quicker information can come out that way.
Can I also have your email address? Or I think you are emailing out information after this, right?
Yes, I am. And I will email it to you. You'll have my email address there, but I'll go ahead and type it in the chat right now, just if you want to put it in your notes.
Thanks.
Of course.
Hey Dixie, and we do signage too.
Oh, cool. Tell me about it.
We just I mean, we've been in business 41 years, so our prices are hard.
41 years. That's incredible.
Yeah, our prices are hard to beat. So we do yard signs. We do those cell signs you stick in the ground. We do vinyl signs. We do, any kind of signage.
Okay, that's fantastic. I'll go ahead and link. I have your site, Michael. I pull it up all the time, so I'll go ahead and link it to the sign part, and I'll put that in the notes. So anybody that's looking for signs, and also we mentioned earlier, if it looks like we're gonna, as a country, as a city, we're gonna be wearing masks for a while. Like, now would be a great time to call Michael and get branded face masks for your workers to wear, so that you're looking like a united front, and that you're providing that that personal protective equipment that people need. So yeah, I hadn't really thought about that, Michael, until we got on the phone together, but that's a neat idea. Bandanas for everybody, right?
Yeah, the Austin CVB just ordered a bunch.
Oh, good. Okay, so I think we'll close it now. I'll send out these notes with all the links in there to Michael's stuff, to the extended deadlines, and then everything else that we talked about. And Lila, I'll go ahead and add you to the newsletter when we hang up. I appreciate you guys joining. I know this was a smaller one, but we will hopefully extend this through July and be able to, at one of these, we're going to have great news. So I'm looking forward to that one. At one of them, we're going to start it off, and I'm going to say, you guys, I have fantastic news. Here's what's happened.
I have a question. You said that this is a weekly call. Do I have to sign up for it every week, or to get the link, or how would this work?
Yeah, so I do have it set up that way. I haven't set up the July series yet. I'll be real honest with you. The easiest way for me to remind you to do it is for people to sign up for each one, because I create them as individual events. But I appreciate that feedback. If it would be easier to just sign up for one and kind of put it on your calendar and have the link be the same. I'll look into that for July.
Oh, cool. Thanks. Yeah. I'll just sign up for next week and see what's out there.
Okay. And I will, I will also, it would be helpful if I put the sign up link for the next one in the notes email. So I'll make sure I do that too. I should have been doing that anyway. Thanks, Lila.
Thanks.
Okay. Well, with that, we will close down. We'll say, I didn't even talk about my coffee. I do have my coffee. It's a coffee. We'll talk about, hopefully next time we talk about the funding that is finally coming, and that we'll have ideas for maybe when we'll be doing some small reopening again. Maybe next week, good news week.
I want to ask you a personal question.
Yes, absolutely.
Since you mentioned coffee, what coffee do you drink?
So I have a couple of coffees that I drink. I live very close to Texas Coffee Traders, who are also a longtime member of ours. So Texas Coffee Traders is one of my normal rotations, and that's a really good one. I also have a fun story about the owner, whose name has left my mind right now. But my family went to Costa Rica, where they in Monteverde, where they were growing coffee. I have a part of my family who owns property there and has lived there for years and did some ecological studies there. And so my family was there visiting Costa Rica and happened to run into the owner of Texas Coffee Traders on the coffee plantation, like doing the tour together. And my family has never met a stranger, so they were talking to everybody and realized that they knew me in common. So they were from Alabama in Costa Rica, and he had come from Texas, was in Costa Rica, and met each other on the tour. So they have a special place in my heart. But that is the coffee that I'm drinking today. I don't know what I'll be drinking next week, but I'm excited to try what you guys have.
Yeah, I don't know if you, I'm open to send you, or I don't know if you're local, or a coffee called Sweetwater's Texas Capital.
Cool.
We on Facebook and Instagram called Capital Coffee Couple. But yeah, I think that if you give me your address or something, then I can
absolutely
deliver it, or if you're open for me to deliver it, and then
yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you so much for offering that. And I'll warn you, I had a baby recently, and I stopped being able to drink full caffeinated coffee. So everything I drink, I have to cut it with decaf, which is
you do? Okay.
sad for me, because I used to just drink pot after pot of full calf coffee, and he just made it so where I can't. You'd think I need more coffee with a tiny baby, but it's the opposite. Yeah, I'll definitely. Why don't we email offline, Lila? Thank you for that. And,
yes.
And we'll talk about everything else too.
Okay.
That's
you.
awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for indulging me in a little storytelling. I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a great day, and keep our fingers crossed. Next week is the good news week.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.
That's
Bye-bye.